Hello, dear friends. Every month I look forward to Matthew's message, and this latest one confirms the positive historic turn the world is taking thanks to the high cosmic frequency. Opinion piece. Historic turn. Positive wind. Tension oasis. A sense of calm. Effect of frequencies. Frustration decreases. Global reconstruction. International cleanup. Time of metamorphosis. People feel the difference. Building a glorious world. We will see kindness grow. The desire to help increases. Independence is an inner fire. Silent rebellion against change. No dire prediction will come true. To be free is to dance with the wind. Let's start. The forces of light have decisively dismantled the backbone of darkness, and the world is taking a radical turn in universal history, according to Matthew through his mother, Susan Ward. In the coming weeks and months, you will see the chaotic aftermath of a millennia-old storm transform into an international cleanup, and then global rebuilding will begin in earnest. This vital action is integral to the positive changes in hearts and minds. Winds of greater consciousness are blowing, and without knowing the new prevailing frequencies of higher vibrations, many human beings feel a welcome difference. After a brief and somewhat stressful period of adaptation to this surge of energy, a sense of calm replaces confusion and anxiety. The flow of love and light is as if the universe embraces the heart and each of its souls. As tension eases and frustration lessens, you will see kindness grow, generosity expand, attitudes soften, and the desire to help increase. Not all souls will respond this way, but we are greatly encouraged to see that the inspiring reactions far outweigh fear, despair, and conquest. Some missionaries of light feel so euphoric that they believe the Earth is already in fifth density. This density applies to individuals whose assimilation of frequencies boosted their conscious spiritual clarity to that point. However, the majority of the population is unaware of their beginnings in the original source of creation. Their immortal multidimensionality, the ascension process, or the universal battle between the forces of light and darkness. Therefore, they have much to learn during their journey to fifth density. If the Earth were already in fifth density, no one iota of deception or corruption would plague the world. For example, it is still difficult to distinguish incriminating photos and videos created by artificial intelligence, or to know whether people are real or impostors. It's not yet difficult to discern whether breaking news is real or a tall tale, whether reports about world leaders in conflict are true or false, or whether dire predictions are real or sinister attempts to instill fear. On this last point, we assure you that no dire predictions will come to pass. Please direct the energy of your thoughts, feelings, visions, and daydreams for your own benefit and that of the world. Remember that what you do is not limited to Earth. What happens anywhere in this universe affects everything else. As you and the souls you helped awaken use your creation abilities to establish the foundation of love and light for the golden age, you will be aided by other civilizations who are also building glorious new worlds. This entire universe is in motion to manifest peace, joy, health, harmony, and prosperity in great abundance, as enlightened beings everywhere are building on a foundation of freedom from darkness and independence from control. True freedom and independence are the essence of existence. The liberated breath of the soul They are not mere privileges, but the very essence of life, the silent rebellion against the chains seen to and unseen. To be free is to dance with the wind, unbound by the gravity of expectations, and to forge one's own path through the desert of endless conformity. Independence is a silent and eternal fire that burns within us. The refusal to be a shadow in the light of someone or another. It is the courage to stand alone, yet connected to the universe and to cosmic consciousness. A lone star in the vast and infinite cosmos, radiant and fearless, in its purest form. It is the symphony of identity, the melody of a life lived authentically, where every step is a declaration, I am and I choose to be free. New Pope. The election of a new American Pope was a strategic decision, but before we delve into that, let's talk a little about the 2,000-year history of popes. Since Saint Peter considered the first pope, emperors usually had the final say over their successors until 1,000 years ago, when it was granted to cardinals and those belonging to Italy's wealthiest families usually became popes. It's hard to imagine the papacy being so eagerly sought after. During the first millennia, most popes died violent deaths and were called martyrs, but some records indicate they did something that displeased the powerful. The deaths of the last two popes, John Paul II and Francis, show that it is still the practice to remove anyone who doesn't follow the instructions of those in charge. According to Matthew, John Paul II was cloned and then eliminated. His kind and benevolent nature was so strong that it was evident in the clone during the years it represented him. His desire to enlighten the Vatican was also strong, but the clone was never allowed to participate in any reforms John Paul II wanted to initiate. Matthew adds that Francis was eliminated 5 years ago for defending the Gisera program, wanting to end dark rituals, using the Vatican's fortune to help the poor, and returning stolen works of art. A holographic image of him was briefly produced from a distance, only until he could be portrayed by a burly old man wearing a mask. That comedy lasted until it was decided that the revered Francis should pass on the spiritual life and the new pope was installed. All those decisions were made by the controllers. For the past 200 years or so, generations of that secret society have constituted the invisible power in the Vatican. It was through their influence a century ago that Vatican City became a sovereign and independent state with its own government, treasury, laws, business operations, and restrictive population. As the smallest country in the world, the Vatican can participate in international diplomatic and political affairs, and as an autocratic ruler, the Pope has absolute authority over everything within the country and over the worldwide Catholic Church. Those pulling the strings use the Vatican for money laundering, the storage of artwork stolen by the Nazis from the Jews during World War II, and as an international headquarters for the occult and a primary place of sacrifice. However, everything this secret society does is strategically planned, usually years or even decades before taking the first step on a detailed agenda. However, situations that could previously be expected to continue years into the future no longer occur, and the decision of Francis' successor was quickly made. Robert Prevost is intelligent, possessing extensive knowledge and ability, multicultural and likable, and enjoys great respect in the College of Cardinals. His name was chosen because of his great admiration for the late Pope Leo XIII, with whom he shares an interest in helping wherever necessary. By electing him, the powers that be believe Leo XIV can revitalize the vast Catholic population in the US, which is rapidly moving away from church dogma and funding. They remind the US government that they still wield great influence over its economic, legal, and judicial systems. They hope that devout Catholics enthusiastic about the first American Pope will help them retain that power, just as Peruvians claim he is one of them. They are equally enthusiastic. The controllers believe the new Pope could attract Peru and even all of South America to his fold. None of that will happen, and Catholicism and all other religions will undergo changes as their increasingly conscious followers strengthen their spirituality and abandon their manipulative and controlling aspects. All beings of light honor us for our steadfastness in our mission and support us with the incomparable power of unconditional love. Messages. Your time in the chrysalis has expired. It's time to stretch your wings and take flight. The time for metamorphosis, lifetimes in the making, has arrived. You have realized that what once seemed real and secure was nothing more than an illusion. Your light and potential can no longer be confined to these dense realms of the third dimension. It's time to soar, to trust your spiritual wings and wisdom as you soar toward the stars, says Kesheresh. A new planetary era begins, according to Natalia Alba. June offers us balance and harmony in our current transformation, as it is a month of stabilization, as the universal number 6, which represents June, and the 6-6 portal reminds us. These numbers imply the stabilization of all the changes we have made in our light body, in our life, and also in all the changes our planetary structures and tissues we have experienced. We begin June with a very positive frequency, Jupiter semi-sextile Uranus, two powerful forces inviting us to free ourselves from the chains we often create ourselves, giving birth to new beginnings and moving toward new horizons as we continue to rediscover who we truly are. June reminds us that we all harbor within us the divine creative spark to shape our reality as we desire. We all have the potential to change the circumstances that prevent us from living a full life with our soul. This is the month for us to begin working on the art of bringing our soul's creations down to the mental body, to the physical world. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.